Celebrity, true or false?
You can't handle the truth.
There we go. That's our production value. Setting it all up. All right, first
That
one
was
for
Jack
you.
Nicholson.
That was, in fact, yes. Here we go. First up, celebrity, true or false? True or false? You began your career as a local weathercaster by the name of Margie McCarty. Is that true or false?
True.
What's that all about?
I was in college at Kearney State College, which is now part of the University of Nebraska system. And there was a man in my interpretation of drama class who was the regular weather guy, the weekday guy, right?
Yeah,
they were looking for somebody on the weekends. And he said, you know, you might be, they're auditioning women. You might be right for this. And I thought, okay, what do I got? You know, and I just showed up and, you know, I had no idea what I was doing, of course. And
Was it like a green screen and everything?
Yes,
like,
and I ultimately just like I winked into the lens, and that got me the job. Apparently. No, they didn't have to know anything about meteorology or anything. Just the wink did it. Anyway, so I did it for one summer, and the reason my name was Margie McCarty. Actually, I was known as Margie then, but McCarty was my paternal grandmother's maiden name.
Okay.
It's kind of has a lilt to it, right? Margie
Yes.
McCarty. Anyway, so I had to change my name because the anchor guy, the news guy was named Harvey Knocklinger, and
Wait a minute.
oh wait, no, he was the sports guy, Harvey Knocklinger. And the news person was a woman named Joyce Eisenminger. So they didn't want it to be the Knocklinger Eisenminger Helgenberger.
Oh, my God. Wow.
That was the reason. So I said, okay.
What's his name? Harvey.
Harvey
Boogie Nights.
Harvey Knocklinger.
Harvey Knocklinger? Are you-
Nachlinger.
Harvey Knocklinger.
Wow.
So the,
I never even thought of it that way. Boogie Nights, yes.
Honestly, it sounds like somebody named Harvey grew up on Mocklinger Lane, you know, like that's that whole game. So is there like a video out there, and here's Margie
Believe it or
McCarty
not,
with the
there
weather?
is.
There is?
Yes, I even have a clip of it. I would have been able to
Oh, is that right?
Harvey
And, like, you're-
Knocklinger is a professor at the University of South Carolina.
Damn. Wait a minute. So you roots for the Gamecocks? I'm sorry. These things just come out of my system. And so there's a video of like you smiling. Here's Margie McCarty with the weather. Like that's it. Gotta see that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
well, I'll have to come back and bring
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll have to. All right, next one up. True or false, Marg Helgenberger?
Yeah.
Earlier in your career, you made a guest appearance on Matlock.
That's true.
And 30-something? You were on both
Yes,
of those?
yes.
All right, I got to hear. You got a good Andy Griffith story? You got a good one? At all? No, not really?
Okay. Well, he was lovely towards me, but when he was introducing me to a young woman my age. At the time, I was like 27.
Okay.
And as he was introducing me to a woman, looked to me about my age, and he said, "I'd like to introduce you to my wife." And thank goodness, something inside me said, "Don't laugh," because I thought he was joking. But no, it was his wife. And then I guess she was with him until he passed. So it was really a legitimate,
So was the name of your episode Robbing the Cradle?
Oh my God. There was I think there was a few people like Dick Gautier. Do you remember Dick
Of course.
Gautier?
He was a very funny actor,
Yeah,
right? Back
he
in the
was
70s.
my
Sure.
lover. And he was a bad guy, and I got killed on that.
Oh,
it was a
no.
2-part episode that
Do we have the name of the episode, Chris? Do we have the name of the Matlock episode?
It shot in Vegas, actually, or part of it
Look
did.
at you.
I know.
The Gambler.
What's that?
The Gambler?
The Gambler.
Okay, well there you
name
go.
of it.
Yeah, it was. I
Name
think
of
it was
the
the
episode.
season opener of what year that
1987.
was. I
So
don't
are
know.
you getting residual checks from Matlock?
I sometimes
every time?
do.
How much was it? 50
You know,
cents?
like 83 cents and stuff.
Fantastic.
But I do. Yeah.
Apropos nothing, I need to ask, how did China Beach come along for you? That is a show I'm sure you still hear about every now and then, right?
Yes, and I'm
Okay.
still good friends with a lot of people
Okay.
from that show. How did it come about?
just-
I mean,
you
I
just-
knew it was a script when I read it.
Right.
I said, "Wow, this is terrific," and set for those, I guess, who don't know. It's was set in Vietnam during the war, and
Yes.
it was mostly told from the women's perspective. And my character was like this kind of mysterious woman. Like, what is she? She's not a nurse. She's not with the USO. She's not a Red Cross donut dolly. And she was just, I don't know, ultimately she was a woman who serviced the upper echelon, but also did all kinds of things. Had a beauty salon on the I said campus.
Sure, right.
Because it was China Beach was also there was a triage unit there, but it was also and that was legit. There was during the war in Da Nang, it was near Da Nang. They had like an R&R center because it was near the beach. It was for guys, and I guess some women, mostly guys, that would go there if they had like a week off, just to kind of recoup from being in the field.
Well, I just remember the show and it being very popular and being very good. I remember watching it.
Yeah, very dramatic, and it
Very
was
much.
a great experience, and loved it.
Pretty
actually.
cool. Last one for you. True or false? Celebrity true or false with Marg Helgenberger. True or false? Even though the producers of the original CSI did not request it or require it, you attended actual autopsies over the course of the series so you could know what it would look like for research purposes.
True. I did.
Really?
Yes. It was the coroner in Vegas, in Clark County, who had been a technical advisor. He was, operating as an actual coroner still, but he was also helping us out with technical terms, et cetera. His name was Dr. Gary Telgenhoff. I don't think he's with us anymore, but he was a cool guy. He had a rock band that they played like death metal music, and
Like that's what he moonlit doing, is what you're saying?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Damn,
And
Vegas. How
I
about
know.
that? Okay.
And it was intense,
I
as
would
you can
imagine
imagine.
so, yeah.
Yes. And it was it just feels like you go through a couple of because their offices are just in, boring kind of cubicles or whatever, and you go through a double set of doors, and all of a sudden you literally enter like a chamber of horrors because it's bodies everywhere and various types of decomposition.
Did you really find it helpful? Did it really help you in the role?
You know what?
think?
It's one of those things you can't unsee.
Yeah.
Right? Because the experience is so overwhelming. The smell, the visuals, and as it turns out, one of the bodies that was being examined or autopsied, I should say, was because I had been on a ride along the day before, and one of those ride alongs was the call came in as dead body at the Hard Rock. So I got to go into the room where this body was, and that man's body was. They said, I think this will be. He'll be autopsied tomorrow. And I went, oh, that will. So I got to follow it, and I exchanged email addresses with the coroner. It wasn't Dr. Gary, it was another coroner because she followed it through. So I tracked the whole case, and then it involved it was drug and alcohol related, but the wife apparently had filed a lawsuit against Hard Rock. I'm going on and on with this story.
No, but this is actually
became a civil case.
It sounds like an episode of the program.
Well, because there was suspicious circs, like the door was left ajar, kind of, and there was leaves on the back of his shirt,
Sure.
and apparently he had been stumbling because he had been quite inebriated, and hotel security, in a wheelchair, wheeled him up to his room, and just got him onto his bed, but they didn't. And her claim was that, somebody should have stayed with him. If he was that messed up, somebody should have stayed with him. And she wanted somebody to blame and somebody to pay the price for not following through with
It sounds like an episode of the program.
It really does. Yeah.
So you got to actually see it in real life, and then no doubt something ripped from the headline in that respect.